Hi, and welcome to Fostering Conversations.
This is a podcast where we share the real stories of real children navigating the real foster care system in Southwest Missouri. This podcast comes to you from CASA of Southwest Missouri, and CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. We stand alongside children while they experience the ups and downs of the foster care system. My name is Shelby Blakely. I'm our training coordinator. Today I have the privilege of interviewing Julie Murray, a professional within the foster care system. We're so lucky that she works at CASA right now. So she is our lead Greene County Advocate Supervisor. She has worked in the child welfare system for almost 19 years, and her experience is extensive. From fostering to over 50 children, training new foster parents, previously serving as a director at Foster Adopt Connect, Julie is someone we consider an expert in the child welfare field for sure. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today.
I am so excited to be here.
Yay, good. Okay, well, I'll send you a slow pitch first, okay?
I'll take it.
So, can you just talk to me about how you have experienced the foster care world, just in general?
Okay, so many ways, and it goes kind of way back to my childhood. I had an aunt and uncle that fostered probably 20 years or more, and so I just thought that's what families did. Every time I saw them, I had new cousins. I thought that's super cool. I'm going to do that someday. And so I got married, had a couple of kids, mentioned it to my husband, and he said, "Oh, absolutely not." And I said, "Whoa, this is not the plan." So over some time, we talked more about it and decided to look at international adoption. And the two countries we had considered both closed. And so I circled back around to, there are so many kids right here, and we have a home and we have rooms, and they shouldn't be empty.
Mm-hmm.
And he surprised me and said, "Okay, let's do it."
Oh.
So we jumped into training the early part of 2006, and then very quickly built this network of other foster families and became a family advocate, which was not on my radar.
Mm-hmm.
But I would hear some things and think, well, that's not right.
Yeah.
They can't do that.
Yeah.
No, this child has a right to whatever. And so people started calling me, and then I got hired as a family advocate.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, well, I didn't really see that coming. And then I'm like, well, what else could I do in this field?
Yeah.
And so I heard about training.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh, I would love to do that. And not just share personal experience, but at that point, I had learned from so many other foster families, the good, the bad, the ugly, the tips and tricks for managing behaviors, the extensive resources that are available here. So I became a contract trainer for the state and trained for a couple of private agencies here locally. Started the training piece around 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. And so I still will do that periodically.
Yeah.
That has been an incredible experience.
That's cool.
And so from that family advocacy piece, working at Foster Adopt Connect, I found that I really love executing other people's ideas.
Yeah.
I'm not the big idea guy.
Okay.
And so somebody like, oh, we need this program for our foster parents, or we need this training. And like, yes, we do. Okay, let's do this, this, and this.
Yep.
Another job fell in my lap, and they said, hey, how about being our program director? And I said, wow, that sounds big, like a big fancy title. What do I do? And they're like, well, what you're doing. I'm like, okay.
Well, I could do that.
So I did that and still continue to train. And I think once you start that piece of advocacy, you have your network.
Yeah.
And so one family will have a situation and someone says, oh, I know so-and-so who walked that same path. Mm-hmm. And so we all kind of advocate for each other. I just had the privilege of making a career out of that also. Yeah. And it really grew that network for me. Then I got tired and I aged, and then 2020 happened.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know that I can do all of this.
Sure.
So I retired and realized within about 3 months that you can never unknow all the things you know, all of the stories you've heard, and you know that this need is never going to go away. So I became a CASA volunteer.
Yay!
And I thought, this is perfect. I can jump right back in there. I can work with kids and families and It'll be wonderful. And then Laura Farmer, bless her heart, our executive director, called me getting ready to leave for vacation. And she said, "So, really, retired? Is that what you want to be?"
It's not going to work for
I'm like,
us.
"Well, I don't know." And she said, "Why don't you just come to work for us?" And I said,
There we go.
I think I could do that.
Yeah.
So that was 4.5 years ago. I joined the staff, and I can't believe I even had that lapse of retirement, but it brought me right here. So here I
We'll
am,
take
and I
it.
still get to advocate and be in the foster world and do training and meet with families and work with kids and
Yeah.
all those things that I love about foster care.
I love that. Well, yeah, and you're so right. You can't just unlearn
No.
all of the
Mm-mm.
stories we hear. They
No.
stick to you whether you want them to or not. So
Yes, 100%.
like I said, quite the background, quite the experience. How have you taken that experience and how does it impact the work that you're doing at CASA now?
Well, I think one of the benefits, having been around here for a little while, I have seen so many positives. I think one of the biggest pieces that I have been able to bring to CASA is this love I have for bio parents. I'll be straight up. I had a little bit of that savior complex when we were going to become foster parents, and we thought, these poor children, they have nobody. We're going to bring them into our home and everything will be better. And then about 3 days into our foster journey, I was asked to bring this baby we were fostering to the state office building to do a visit with his mom. I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Pack him up. I walk in there and I just wanted to put my arms around her.
Yeah.
And I just saw this broken human being who loved her baby.
Yeah.
And was in such a bad place in life that I thought, well, that's not what I was expecting. I expected to be mad at her. I expected to think about all the things she'd done wrong. And you could just see that she was overwhelmed with love for this baby. So that I'm like, okay, maybe I should adopt her. But that was a life-changing moment.
Yeah.
And I think just because of a lack of knowledge or lack of engagement with biological parents whose kids are in care, people have this us versus them feeling.
Yeah.
So when I have the opportunity to train CASA volunteers, I get to share. These kids love their parents.
Yeah.
I've never met a parent who didn't love their kids. I have met some who were not able to overcome addiction, who weren't able to stick with treatment or do the things they needed to do to change, but it was never because of a lack of love.
Yeah.
So if we can put a family back together, that is the best outcome for our kids in care.
Yeah.
They want to be home. They want to be with their family. So the best way to make that happen is to also be a support to parents.
Yes.
That is the number one thing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So true. And such a hard lesson to teach ourselves unless we're in that space too.
It was a smack in the face for me, figuratively.
Yeah.
Like I just stopped in my tracks. Like I don't know that I want to go there. Because that looks messy. And I could just be over here and take care of your child. But they want you.
Yes.
They want to be with you. So what do we do to be an encouragement and a support to biological parents? That was that piece for me.
Totally. What kind of support do you generally say CASAs provide to those bio parents then?
I think number one, especially once a parent reaches the point of permissive placement, meaning that they can have the child back in their home, we're still legally keeping tabs on everyone, seeing that their child's had that one person with them the whole time. They've gotten to know them and then see that same person show up as a support for them when they've done all the things. I really encourage our volunteers to at least every other month drop into a visit. See this parent with their child, because we start out reading a petition to the court. We read this affidavit that gives reasons that we can legally remove these children. So that piece is there. Go watch how this kid runs to mom and dad and throws their arms around them. Watch mom sing a song with them
Yeah.
and let yourself see that for all the bad we know about, there's probably that much good or more.
Mhm.
And for a handful, it was some bad moments
Yeah.
that led to this.
Sure.
So know who these people are. Get to know them because you will be pleasantly surprised and find yourself just with so much admiration.
Yeah. We've all had bad moments.
Absolutely.
Thank goodness they didn't deter our whole family
Right.
and our
And we
whole
tend
lives.
to meet them at their worst.
Yeah.
So
totally.
remember that that's their worst moment that you've
Mhm.
heard about. Don't judge this parent based on that moment or
Yeah.
that bad week or bad few months. They've had an entire lifetime, and at the core of it, they love their kids.
Mhm. Well, and we talk about so much about the cycle of abuse. And it just takes someone being there and showing them that there's another way
Right.
oftentimes. So I'm glad that we get to do that at CASA. For sure.
Absolutely.
We may have highlighted this a little bit,
Okay.
but if we did, just give me another one too. What is something that you find surprises people about the work you do at CASA?
I think with the launch of our clubhouse
Yeah.
and being the first in the state, so many people who have heard of CASA who know that we're court appointed advocates, we go meet with kids, we do our court reports, don't know that that exists yet.
Yeah.
We're still really getting the word out. And so I think that surprises people regularly, or they've heard about this clubhouse, they haven't connected it
Yes.
to our work,
Yeah.
and that, wait, no, that's us too. And so we have been able to create a space that for parent-child visits, talk to any foster parent and they'll tell you about at least one horrific experience where I did a visit one time with a toddler
Mhm.
in the basement of the state office building because visit rooms were overbooked, and they're doing the best they can there. But we were on a dirty floor, people coming and going, getting stuff out of the vending machines,
Mhm.
nosy, wanting to know, hey,
Listening. Yeah.
what's going on here? This looks weird.
Yeah.
And so having this space that we've created, and then people connect that, oh, it's the same CASA. Like you have your volunteers, but then you also have this where you do these amazing events.
Yeah.
And we invite bio parents.
Yep.
Come meet your kids here, have some additional time with them in a safe space.
Yeah.
And that's so far above and beyond what the traditional role of CASA is.
Yes.
So I think that is a big surprise to a lot of people who may know the name and a tiny piece of what we do, but that is extraordinary.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's definitely more information on our website about that one. So you'll want to stay tuned.
Yes, you do want to check that out.
Okay. Next question. What would your advice be to someone who's interested in supporting children in foster care?
Well, I, of course, am going to say become a CASA because it really is, I think, the single best volunteer role for many reasons. But first and foremost, when I was a foster parent, half the population would not make eye contact with me because I wanted to tell them to be a foster parent.
Yep.
Like, it's so great, you're going to do this. Reality is, I have found majority of people, myself included at this age, do not want to move someone else's children into their home.
Yeah.
But those kids still need a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And foster parents are typically very overwhelmed. Caseworkers have more on their plates than they could ever, manage. And so in this role, I went through my training and then I met this sibling group of 3 brothers, and I pop over twice a month and we play games and we chat and we go for walks and we go to the park. I get to play.
Yeah.
And so I don't have to fulfill that parent role.
Mm-hmm.
And I had done that for a long time, and that was the right time for me to do that.
Sure.
But I don't have to take them to the doctor. I don't have to drive them to school. Now, if they're having trouble with homework and it's a subject in which I excel, sure, I'll look over your homework with
Right.
you. I'm not obligated to do that. I get to build a relationship and just hang out, and kids talk.
Yep.
When they feel they're in that safe space. And I am not sitting face to face with them saying, let me fill out all the questions here.
Right.
We're playing cards, we're playing Sorry, we're playing Foursquare outside, and they tell me about what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
And so refresh me exactly what we're saying. The best part of this?
No, just like what would you say to someone interested in working with a foster child?
Yes. If you like to play, if you like to hang out, if you want a commitment that I think is so manageable,
Yeah.
even working full time. When I took my first case, I had a full time job. It was still easy.
Mm-hmm.
I could fit that into my schedule. And if you're considering it, I would 100% say apply and come in and talk to you, which is a bonus.
Hey.
But that's where you can get all the detailed questions answered, because you want an opportunity to volunteer that fits into your life.
Yep.
It has to. Yep. Or you won't be able to fulfill that, and it won't be fulfilling if it becomes a task. Yep. For me, this was that small number of hours. The requirements are very minimal as far as completing my court report once every 3 months. I can do that. Yeah. But it really was about going and talking to a kid or hanging out with them. If you want to go rock a baby, there's babies in care. If you want to play with toddlers, I do not. I like middle schoolers.
More for you.
So someone else is like, ooh, I do not connect with middle schoolers. I would like a baby. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Those are all the things that are figured out for you as you go through training with CASA. So it's a good match. Yeah. We want to find the right situation that fits your life. We don't just train you and say, okay, here's some kids, go see them.
Right.
That's not going to work. No. You absolutely get to choose who you're going to work with. Yeah. And so that makes it successful.
Yeah, totally. Okay, thank you. All right, well, this last one is my favorite. Okay. How can the community support the work of CASA?
So many ways. Number one, again, I tell everyone, if you don't want to be a foster parent, I get it. This is the role for you. You want to become a CASA. So fill out an application online, come in and meet the fabulous Shelby and get all your questions answered, and then tell everyone you know about this incredible opportunity to be the voice for a kid who's in foster care. They have caseworkers, they have attorneys, they have juvenile officers who are driving the legal bus and making sure all the boxes are checked. But we're the ones who get to know those kids and say, hey, how are you feeling? Do you want to spend more time with mom? Because maybe the team's kind of not looking at that piece right now because we have all these other legal pieces that are important. Or they may say, I really just want to go for a walk, but my foster parent's really busy. Let's go for a walk. If you get down the road and you want to have transportation, you could take them places, you could do things. We have an incredible opportunity where you could be an ambassador. We always need just extra hands and eyes and feet to come and help with our events. Yep. You can donate items. We have an awesome wish list on Amazon that Shelby will probably tell you about with all our website details. So donating those items is critical so we can provide snacks and items and toys, puzzles, games for our volunteers and for our kids to share. We have numerous fundraising opportunities, big and small. And so like anything else, it costs for us to put on these events and to do fun activities with our kids. So fundraising, I'll let the professionals talk about, but I love to get on our wish list and send a little toy or game or puzzle. Yeah. And I think that word of mouth, though, if you share about this opportunity, what is the ratio? People need to hear about things about 5 times.
Yeah, 5 or 6
in
times.
Different ways. So share our CASA pens. We'll sell t-shirts. Talk to your friends who have said, hey, I'd really like to help some kids. Hey, check out CASA. Yeah. Because we have never ending. I'll give a small personal here.
Sure.
My parents, they'll kill me if I give their exact ages. They're not quite pushing 100, but we're all squeaking up on 90. And they bring lunch over to our clubhouse with a group of their friends from church. So when we have an activity for our older youth, they're not in a position in life where they can go crawl around with kids anymore or be driving all over the place. But my mom loves to bake. They'll cook. They deliver food up here. And then they found a nice surprise when they came and brought lunch. They stayed for like 3 hours. Yep. They were going to drop off and go, and they're like, these kids are awesome.
Yeah.
And they talked to our older youth who are like ages 14 and up and just hung out at the clubhouse. That's a role for somebody to do.
Yeah.
We need people to come hang out, be a lunch buddy at our Greene County Youth Academy. We could spend all day coming up with opportunities.
We could. We had a volunteer bring some tiramisu cheesecake this morning.
And that was spectacular.
So yeah, anything and everything. Exactly. Okay. Well, make sure to subscribe to get access to all of these resources we've mentioned. Our next section is a fun little story. So our judge loves when children comes into court, and he always asks them to have a joke prepared. So in honor of that tradition, we're going to listen to a little joke and see what we think.
Why did the vampire visit the library? He wanted to stick his teeth into a good book.
That was a good
Cheesy.
one.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, thanks so much for learning with us today. We're another episode down and another child's future up. Bye.
Bye.